Welcome back. Now that we've read the story, we've talked about the main idea, we've looked at the illustrations, we've recognized the captions for each of our illustrations. Now we're going to go back through, pay attention to the bold words, and ask some questions. So have your pencil ready, be a good listener, and follow along. Let's start out on this page with the bold words. So you'll see up here we have the word are Maasai. What does that mean? Well, if they are Maasai, they belong to a group of people in Kenya who live and work together. Then cattle is another word that's bold. And you might know what that means. If you're not sure, check the bottom. Cattle is cows. So let's begin. Joseph Lekuton, Making a Difference by Philip Kennedy. Joseph Lekuton was born in Kenya, a country in Africa. Joseph and his family are Maasai. Many of the Maasai take care of cattle. Then right here it says, before you move on, identify details. What group does Joseph's family belong to? And what work do most of the people do? Pause the video and answer those two questions. What group does Joseph's family belong to? And what do most of the people do? Now you're going to move on to number 2. Ask questions. What questions do you have about Joseph? I want you to write down 1 or 2 questions that you have about Joseph. Pause the video and answer number 2 on your worksheet. An important decision. Every Maasai family has to send one child to school. So Joseph's father sent one of Joseph's brothers, but his brother didn't like school. He hid in a hyena hole and didn't go to class. So if we look down here at the bottom, a decision is a choice, so an important choice. And hyena hole is a hole where a wild animal called a hyena lives. And there's a picture with a little caption right here that points, that's a hyena. Joseph wanted to go to school. He volunteered to go instead of his brother. When Joseph was older, he went to schools in faraway parts of the country. One school was 600 miles away. So down here, in other words, 600 miles is very far, about 965 kilometers. 600 miles would take us hours in a car to drive. Before we move on, we're going to clarify. I want you to identify, it says, find sentences that tell you that Joseph wanted to go to school and his brother did not. So come back up into the text. I want you to find sentences on this page or this page that tell you that Joseph wanted to go to school and his brother did not. Find those sentences. Pause the video and write those down. Point of view. Does the author tell the story or does Joseph? How do you know? Now don't get confused on this part. I'm the one reading the story, but I'm not telling the story. So don't write down Mrs. Mogul on this one. Answer this question. Does the author tell the story or does Joseph tell the story? Now if we go back to the beginning, the author is Philip Kennedy. So is he telling the story or is Joseph telling the story? How do you know? Pause the video and answer those 2 questions. A challenge. We know what a challenge is, but if you're not sure, a challenge is a hard job. Keeping Joseph in school was difficult. His family sold a lot of their cattle to pay his school fees. Joseph was also far from home. He couldn't always help his family care for their cattle. So difficult means not easy. So keeping him in school was not easy. His school fees, the money it cost to go to school. So his family sold a lot of their cattle to pay for him to go to school. A way to help. When Joseph grew up, he became a teacher. He helped build schools in Maasai communities. He also helped create scholarships. Joseph's work has made a difference. Now it is a little easier for Maasai children to go to school. The more children we can educate, the fewer problems we'll have in Africa, Joseph says. So down here, in other words, where it's bolded up here, help create scholarships. What does that mean? It means he made it possible for more children to go to school. He provided money or ways for them to get to school. And then educate means to teach. So the more children we can teach, the fewer problems we'll have in Africa, Joseph says. So before we move on, we want to make some comparisons. What was Joseph's life like before he went away to school? And then how did it change after he went to school? Make sure you pause the video and fill out that worksheet. And then details. How has Joseph helped to improve his community? Remember, improve means to make better. So how did Joseph help to improve his community? What did he do? Find it in the text. What did he do to improve his community? Pause the video, answer the questions, and then you are complete.